The mission field has changed. It used to be, back in whatever you consider the heyday of the church, that the church was the center of community. Going to church on Sunday was just a part of the American way of life. Some saw it even as their moral duty as an American citizen to make sure that they went to church on Sunday. And because it was so important to the local community, and because everyone in the community would come to church anyway, most businesses were closed on Sundays, and there were little to no activities scheduled. Back then, the mission field was one where, once you found out your new neighbor was Lutheran, the pastor was told that he would make a visit and invite the new family to church. Or sometimes, the new family would find their way to church before the pastor visited, and then would be greeted by the members. Of course, there wasn't much need to evangelize back then, because, once again, if you wanted to be a prominent member of your community and socially accepted, you went to church. That's just what you did. Now, whether we like it or not, the world has changed, which means our mission field has changed. We now live in a day and age where the church is no longer the center of community. In fact, it is more on the fringes of community. Well, how did this happen? Well, there are many reasons that can be listed. Increased individualism, commercialism, religious pluralism, backlash of church misconduct and clergy misconduct, an increase in atheism, divisions between religion and science. The list is quite exhaustive, and I could go on and on. But the truth of the matter is that this is now the reality that we have to face as a faith community. The people are no longer coming to us. Whether it's because people don't trust the church, or they never really grew up with the church, or they don't want to be held accountable by a faith community, or whatever the reason, church is in decline. Thankfully, though, not all hope is lost, and there is good news. In our gospel story today, Jesus sends out 70 disciples to go out and visit the different communities in order to proclaim the kingdom of God come near. They were sent out not knowing who would listen to their message, who would reject them, who would welcome them, and who would send them away. But it didn't matter, for they were sent out in pairs to proclaim the good news, to heal the sick, to cast out demons, and prepare their way for the Lord. And they were going into communities that had no clue who Jesus was, or had only heard rumors about him. These were people who weren't regular churchgoers. These were people who didn't grow up in the church. But as we heard at the end of the gospel, when the 70 came back to Jesus, they shared with him how the power of God was working in them. They didn't talk about how many people they converted. They didn't talk about how many they invited to church next Sunday. Instead, they were in awe of the amazing power of God at work through their proclamation of the gospel. They were energized and vital. So why is that good news for us? Well, it's good news for us because the mission field today looks a lot like it did at the time of Jesus. We live in a day and age where a majority of people in our country are either estranged from the church or didn't ever grow up in the church. Because of this, we live in a time where Jesus wants to send out laborers into the harvest. Jesus wants to send us out. Jesus desires that we go out into the community like the 70 to proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. Jesus knows that if we do this, we will be energized and vitalized by it. Jesus desires to show all people whom we encounter the amazing joy and light that comes from being a follower of Jesus. And like the 70, when we go out, all we're doing is opening the door for the Lord to come in and transform. All we are doing is planting seeds and letting the Lord make them grow. This means that we don't have to be worried about membership numbers or budgets. Instead, we get to just go out and proclaim the kingdom of God come near through acts of love and service throughout the community. We get to go out and practice the ministry of presence, sharing the Lord's peace with all whom we encounter, knowing that if they reject it, we just wipe the dust off our sandals and move on. We go out to proclaim the good news of Jesus because we ourselves have experienced that good news. We have come to understand the life-giving power of being part of a loving faith community who sees us first and foremost as beloved child of God. We know that being part of a faith community means that we will have people who will pray for us. That we have a place where we can gather in fellowship. That we have a place where we can experience the means of grace and worship. That we have a place where we can further our own relationship with God. We have a place that will support us in times of challenge and sorrow. We know we have a family here. But we also believe that the grace and love of Jesus is for the whole world. We know that Jesus seeks other sheep that are not yet part of his flock. We know that there are still so many who are captive, oppressed, and poor, who are looking for liberation. The harvest is plentiful, and Jesus needs the laborers, which is why Jesus sent us. Not only does Jesus send us because he knows that we will be energized and vitalized to proclaim the good news outside the walls of our faith community, but Jesus also knows that the good news we bring will indeed bring freedom and life to those who are lost, forsaken, uncertain, and fearful. But what is even more good news has to do with the fact that we don't have to go out into that mission field by ourselves. Jesus sends the 70 out in pairs. Jesus wants us to do this together. Whether we do it together as the members of our own faith community or whether we partner with another faith community, Jesus wants us to know that we are in this together. So even though this mission field has changed, even though the church is no longer the center of community it once was, there is still excitement and possibility because Jesus is sending us out to proclaim the good news.